Howdy, Possum Patty here, and it's fall, y'all. So I did a few pages in my Hello Autumn journal today. Come on along. Well, today I got up early and Mr. Possum slept in a little later. So I got a few pages done in my journal during that quiet time. So I'm going to show you those first, and then I'm going to work on a couple more pages. Okay, before I get to the page I'm working on now, let me show you the pages that I did this morning. The first thing I did this morning was to finish up my Mooncake Festival, which is an Asian fall festival or Happy Moon Festival. And I had journaled about the festival here and the dancers. And I used a brochure and I used gifted paper. And this is a calendar that was gifted to me. Picture of Mr. Possum, Possum Patty, and Sister Possum at the festival. Fabric that was gifted to me, I did glue this fish on. This was calligraphy by a Chinese student I had, and a picture of people doing calligraphy at the Mooncake Festival. And then this is a book page and a little girl in her traditional dress at the festival. I added her on to the book page. So the only thing I didn't journal about was the mooncake. So I had to make a special mooncake page. Now, let me explain a little bit what I did here. The background on this page is blue, so I picked out some blue paper, Asian themed blue paper that was gifted to me last birthday. And I took some pink Asian paper that was also gifted to me, I think it's from the same person, to reflect the pink circle here. So I have a blue background and a pink circle. Then the decoration across the bottom is some more of this flyer with the Chinese writing and a little white dove and some branches. And that's to reflect, you know, it looks like corn down here and the ground. I just wanted to ground this picture like that. And then I did a red circle because I have a blue dragon plate with the mooncake on it. And then this is going to open up, and I'll explain that in a minute. And I have a little dot there I made with my 1-inch hole punch. And I glued a fan. I think these stickers were also gifted to me for my Asian themed glue book. And then this is a little tab to hold this closed. Now I kept with the moon theme in making everything round up here. And this is a picture of a dragon tea set that my Aunt Fanny Hortense got from her husband in World War II, or just after World War II, when he was stationed in Japan. Isn't that beautiful? There's the mooncake on the plate. Now you may wonder why I chose this particular color paper here. This is origami paper. But if you look at the little girl over here, she has on a red skirt and a green blouse with red, yellow, and green striped sleeves. And this is red, yellow, and green stripes. I know there's a black stripe in there too. But it just like perfectly goes with what she's wearing. So even though most of the theme is blue and pink, to match the blue and pink on this side, I did put a paper in there to match this little girl's outfit over there. And this is more paper. I think this was the set. And this is very textured. It's got like a linen texture to it. And I did my journaling. Aunt Fanny Hortense's Dragon Tea set from post-World War II Japan. moon cakes, and this was a surprise. I had no idea what was in a moon cake, and I didn't want to eat it until I found out what was in it because of special diet. So I popped it open, and surprise, surprise, there are salted cured duck eggs inside, along with some bean paste. Well, I can't eat egg yolks, so I didn't eat them, but it was quite the surprise. I found this to be so interesting to pop this cake open, and there's these 2 duck eggs on the inside. That was super fun. So I journaled about that. So, oh, I almost sat on my cat. Let me show you how I hinged these. I did a mock-up first because I didn't want the hinge to show, but I wanted it to be free to open and close. So I guess I could have made a hinge and cut it round. I just thought of that. But anyway, so I worked on that for a while before I actually put it together. And this is what I did. I just made 2 circles and decided that if I made the slits for the hinges in a little bit from the round part, that I could hide them. They wouldn't show on the outside. But when you do this, you have to make sure that you don't glue this part over here. So when I stuck it in the hole, I did leave a little space there so that it can move. Because if you put it right to the edge, then, you know, I guess you can bend the paper if you wanted to have it open like that. There's all different ways of doing it. But I just wanted to show you how I did it. I cut 2 circles. I made 2 slices about 3/8 of an inch in. And I stuck a piece of paper in there through both sides. Now this side got glued to the page so you can't see it. And this side got covered up with the second sheet of paper. So that was all glued together. And then I have this nice loose hinge. Again, not gluing down this part in here. Leaving that free to move so that you can open and close the page like that. And then the hinge doesn't show when you close it. So let me show you that again. There it is. Just a little bit different way of doing that. So that's the first thing I did. And then I knew there was a page that I hadn't finished from the Green Corn Festival, or the Native American Fall Festival, and that was Skimitzen. And I had clipped on this that I cut out from a brochure about the trails, the Pequot trails, and it had this big rock here, and at the festival I had taken a picture of Mr. Possum leaning on this huge rock. And I says, oh, I can use that as a journaling card. And then on the back of this was the map, and I covered up some of the card, but I left this where the Pequot Museum is because this is the trail that I walked on. And I think Mr. Possum sat on the bench, but I did this loop around the Pequot Museum in the woods. And the cat's yelling. Stand by. So I had this paper clipped to this page, and I knew I wanted to use this with the picture of Mr. Possum leaning against the rock. So this was a nice sparkly sort of tan with gold circles page. And just the other day, I was gifted this acetate with these gold circles on it. I mean, it perfectly matches the other page. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can use that as a pocket. So I took out this book page. This is from the old gnome book that I had, the book about gnomes. And I sewed this piece of acetate around the edge to this book page, and then I glued the book page to the background. And I had to go close to the edge because this card would like barely fit in there, right? So I trimmed it a little bit more closer to the words. I didn't want to cut off the words, but I got as close as I could there. So now that fits in good, and I rounded the bottom corners a little bit. So this picture is like dark autumn woods, and then there's a road going down here, and you can still see it through the acetate, so I love that. And then the piece that I ripped off from the book page, that's what I used to collage on the back of this card before I put Mr. Possum's picture down. And then I thought I was done, and I remembered the stickers that I got. These were gifted to me too. It's actually like an oriental pack with bamboo and things, but it had a bunch of rocks in it. And then this one said peace. And because this is all about the rocks, rocks everywhere, I decided to put that one on there like that. And now there's one more thing I want to add to this page. I had to go in the other room and get it, and that's the word explore. And this came off this little magazine. They put one out every year. And this is for what's called the Last Green Valley, a National Heritage Corridor. And this is the valley of the River Valley that is eastern Connecticut on up a little bit into Massachusetts. And it is just one of the few river valleys that hasn't been highly industrialized. There is some industry along the river, but most of it is still farmland and greenland, and it goes a little bit up into Massachusetts and eastern Connecticut. This is the map here. And it's all about hiking and boating and paddling and fishing and hunting and geocaching and festivals and everything that goes on in the valley. So I wanted to take the word explore and put it up here to explore the trails. So I got a big mess here because I've been working today. So I got this part started this morning, and then I worked a little bit more while I was doing laundry, because today we're actually not going anywhere for like the second day in 2 weeks. I think we've been somewhere every day. So I said, let me get some of this journaling done, get my laundry done, things like that. So I just want to put the word explore up here, because this is about trails in the woods. And also, if you notice, it says, enjoy the peace and beauty of the Connecticut woods on our Pequot trails. And this rock said peace, so I just thought that had to go there. I just forgot to point that out. So I'm going to glue this down with my usual Possum Patty hyper gluing. I put a little glue stick in the middle. Now I bought this big giant bottle of tacky glue so I could refill the small one. But somebody noticed I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that yet. Okay, where's my little glue thing? Here it is. I like it. I like it. I mean, this was just perfect how this all came together with all these gifted things. Brochures and books and everything. So my Moon Festival pages are done. Well, done for now. You could always add something. You know, you don't ever have to be totally done. Excuse me while I shut that off. Too many spam calls. And now my Green Corn Festival is, I'll just say more complete, more complete. I have in here what I wanted to put in here so far. And I got all that done. And then while the laundry was going, I started working on the first page. Now the first page had just this picture of these gourds on here, and I said, well, I'll save this for something, you know, welcoming fall. Well, I found this journaling card from one of my fall paper packs, and I cut it out, and I made a flip open, and on the inside I just put a picture of the mums and two little pumpkins that are on my front porch right now. And then on this side, I already had this brown tag made. I found it in the baggie that I had these journaling cards in. Sorry about that. And
it's okay.
It's okay. Phone's going wacky. My phone just said it's okay. I don't know why my phone just said it's okay. This is the gourd that I had bought. And I just love this gourd so much. So I printed out a picture of this. I printed this out with my, the printer that's connected to the computer. And I cut it out. And I put it on the brown tag. And these pens are still sitting on my desk. So I took this Sharpie paint pen in peach color. You got to shake it up good. And I wrote Autumn 2022. I got a little crowded going around the corner, but that's okay. And then I'm like, okay, what can I use to make the little flip closure? And I got a lot of stuff. That's why there's no room on my desk for anything. These Dollar Tree stickers. I love these. They're like watercolor. They're so pretty. I love this set. And I took the basket of apples because fall, and I talk about apple picking in here. Apple orchard stuff is in here. Apple pie stuff is in here. I don't know where the other thing is, in there somewhere. And I cut out the basket. Well, I didn't cut it out. I took out the basket of apples and I pasted it down to some brown paper, and then I cut it out. And this is a 3-dimensional basket, so it's really pretty. And that's my little corner tuck. I used the same brown paper that this tag is made out of. And then because there was a hole in the top of the tag, I figured, I got to put something fuzzy in there. Love textures, love colors. So I had this yarn. This is a really fun yarn. It's called Moda Dia Flip, made in Turkey, 100% polyester. I don't know, and I never used it. I think I probably bought this back when I was making some of those scarves, crocheting scarves, like everybody was crocheting scarves. That was many years ago. And it wasn't never opened, so I said, oh, just open that, use it. Gotta use what you have. So, signs of fall: mums, gourds, apples, pumpkins. Oh, so I put this up here, and then I'm like, oh, if I could only have some apples kind of falling out of the basket. But I looked on the sheet, and there weren't any that were, the kind where you pick up like that. But the background had them. See, like that leaf? So if you want that leaf, you got to cut it out yourself in the acorn. So I did cut them out from the background and then put down two of the, I only had two, I wish there was 3. I wanted to put 3 red things, so I took the mushroom from the page and added the mushroom. So this is my welcoming page. Welcome fall. I've got my mums and my pumpkins and my gourd. And then I got my little basket of apples up here. Today, I finished up those two. I did the first page. So something else I wanted to put in here was the September Sisters Lunch. And we went to visit Mom. So this is one of those 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper pages. And I had cut off the top to make it fit into the journal. That way, there we go. That's how it was. I cut that off. So I'm going to put it back on the page, but I'm putting it down here. And I folded it in half, and then I made 2 more folds like that. And I did line the inside with another piece of that scrapbooking paper from that set. I don't know what set it was. These are old. These are not the new ones. So I'm going to glue this whole thing down right there into the middle so that I have a flip open on this side like that and a flip open on that side like that. And then I'm going to put down the pictures, just 2 pictures. And a little bit of journaling. So this is Possum Patty and Mom and Sister Possum, one of the Sister Possums. And we're taking Mom, who is blind and 93, for a walk. It was a nice day. And I'm going to put the picture on here, and I'm going to journal sideways. And just put this here. I like this. Got these acorns on here. Very fall-like. Very fall-like. And I'm going to put that one over there. Oh, maybe I'll put it in the middle. And then I have this picture of Possum Patty and the 3 Possum sisters. And her face looks big because she was holding the phone while we were trying to do a selfie with us all in it, and we're behind her. But she's the youngest. So I'm going to cut a piece of this, put over here. Alright, one cat was in here, and she was fine. She was laying down. She was sleeping, minding her own business. And then I started recording, so as soon as I start talking, the other cat had to come in. So now they're both in here, right? And the fat cat, she's fine. She's just laying on the rug. The little cat's jumping all over. She was on the seat, remember when I tried to sit down? On my shoulder, jumping around all over. I think this weather, this cool, crisp weather with a little bit of wind, it's gotten her, you know, energized. Let's call it energized. And then she heard Mr. Possum come in, so then she wanted to go out. So she's yelling to go out. So that's when I get up to let her out. And then the other cat, the fat cat, who was perfectly fine, she had to go out. Because she didn't want to miss out on anything if the other cat wasn't in here. Alright, so we're going to give that a few minutes to dry. See, because that's got to stick to that. It's got to stick to that. That's all got to stick together. That's got to stick together. And while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and stick these pictures down. This is kind of pretty. I like that. I might want to leave that on there. So I think I'm going to stick this down. Maybe I can use this space to write the names and the day. I don't remember the day, and I got to look up on my phone what day that was. To remember what day that was. So that'll be my journaling space. So I'll put that down there. making a big pile of scraps over here from all this journaling today. I've got all these scraps here. And, well, I got everything else here to paint from when I was painting. This is my painty shirt. And you can see all the paint and stuff on it. So when I'm wearing long sleeves, I try to put this on to protect the sleeves. Don't need it in the summer because I got short sleeves on, but the weather has turned crisp and cool. And quite lovely. Quite lovely. There, I like that. Okay. Now this one's a little different. This one's got a smaller space. Did you ever do something and then it's like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, and it's kind of like, oh well, that just went on very crooked. Very crooked, which is absolutely possum straight. Or sometimes it's just my glasses that make things look crooked. Well, we could just say the picture is straight and the paper is crooked, right? Let's crimp the corners on this one too. Okay, I'm going to do my journaling and I'll be right back. I'm going to check the, see if that paper is glued down and do my journaling, and then I will come back. Okay, I never do what I say I'm going to do, right? Things just change constantly. I just had another idea. I'm going to put the pictures on the page and not on the little flippy thing. See how that looks. That's my bird clock. Time to go get a cup of tea. So instead of putting it here, I think I'm going to put it here. And it's on that paper. Now I can come back and add something to it here. I did glob a bunch of glue right there. Didn't mean to do that. And now I'm going to put this one over here. It's a little crooked. All right, a little crooked is possum straight. I'm going to put that there. Like that. And I could have put it over there, but I don't know why I changed my mind. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I do. Now I have to think of something. I don't know if I want to put something here. You know what I could put here? I could find some retro pictures of the sisters and put them there. And maybe a retro picture of Mom. See, the more you do, the more ideas you get. Because one thing leads to... what's under here? One thing leads to another. Feels like something's under there. Like a big lump there. Okay, Mr. Possum just went to get the mail on his tractor. He likes to charge up his tractor battery by driving it up and down the street. Mamma mia, what a mess I'm making, but that's okay. It's junk journaling, right? Okay, so I found a couple of old sister pictures. So this is us now. This is reflecting. Here we go. This is us in the 80s. Has to be the 80s. Look at the big hair. Everybody's got curly hair there. And this one is in the early 90s, I would say. Early 90s. And I left her in because this is my sister-in-law. It was my brother's wedding. So the four sisters and the sister-in-law over there. Sometimes she does join us in some sister activities when she can. So I'm going to put, oh, not putting it there. Put it over here. I did find a box of old photos, but a lot of them are grandma's and grandpa's, and I think I want to put those in that book I got about I Love My Grandma or something. I probably need to start on that pretty soon. I need to get back to my roots. I had all these old letters and cards and photos, and that's why I started junk journaling with, you know, just the memory keeping. But then I started junk journaling, nature journaling, and then I started daily journaling, junk journaling. All junk journaling, but, you know, different things. And I really haven't been throwing in as much of the old stuff as I wanted to. I'm just collecting more junk. I'm like, why do I need more junk? I have all this junk I wanted to put in junk journals. Old, saved old letters, old cards, all kinds of things. My goodness. My goodness gracious. So I really need to start sticking these old stuff in here. I have way too much stuff on the table right now. Okay, I'm in the right spot. Yes, I am. And then I was thinking for journaling, here, grateful and blessed for my sisters. That's what I was going to put, grateful and blessed for my sisters. Making sure the glue's not all goopy here. So should I go find a green pen to match this? So I could write down here. This is a Global Arts pen and pencil case. I think it is actually leather. I got these on sale from Dick Blick Art Supply one day. I got a few of these because I was really into collecting colors. Of course, I had a job at the time before I retired. And yeah, I was collecting art supplies. That's my bird clock. Grateful and blessed. Grateful and blessed for my sisters. Well, today was certainly the marathon journaling session. Mr. Possum should sleep in more often. I got the first page done with my fave gourd there, my little basket of apples. I got my last Skimitzen Festival of the Green Corn page done with the trails and the rock and Mr. Possum holding up the rock there. And a little rock down here that says peace, explore, enjoy the peace and beauty. And I've got grateful and blessed for my sisters from our sister luncheon last week and my retro sister pictures. And the last page for my mooncake festival with my surprise. There's duck eggs in this cake. I mean, they don't take the eggs and mix them in the batter. They put a whole duck egg in there, salted and cured. That was quite the surprise. So I'm quite pleased with myself today. And I'm loving this now. I'm loving this now. I might do some work in my little golden book, Wonders of Nature. Some pictures I want to put in there. Some autumn stuff. I still have summer stuff to do. Okay, that's it for today. So thanks for coming along today. And I want to wish everybody happy junk journaling. It's fall, y'all. Bye-bye.